Howdy folks, today we're going to talk about Pisco. I got 5 different bottles of Pisco in 5 different styles. I'm just going to talk about it a bit. We're going to taste them, see if we can discern the differences. Let's go. So I did a live stream, I guess back in October. It was about Pisco. But it inspired me to buy more bottles because I was reading up about Pisco and the different styles and stuff. And so I went ahead and I bought 5 different bottles, and I thought I would just talk about it a bit, and we can taste them and see what we think. You can go watch that video, of course, and see what I said about Pisco then, but I'll go ahead and recap it for you here. By the way, my buddy Zach, who used to work in a Peruvian restaurant, I'm sure he's got way more information than I do, and better information. Also got a video on this subject. Go check that out. First of all, what is Pisco? Well, basically it's unaged Peruvian or Chilean brandy. It can come from Peru or Chile, obviously, and it can be made from a variety of different grapes. Depending on which country we're talking about, they have different requirements for which grapes they can use in the Pisco. Now, both Chile and Peru claim Pisco as their national drink. There's some argument about whether or not Pisco can come from either country. But the name Pisco does come from the town of Pisco, which was a port that's in Peru, and that's where it got shipped out to the rest of the world. Now, other countries don't really get into this fight, so if you're in Peru, Pisco from Chile isn't recognized as Pisco and vice versa, but if you're in the rest of the world, it can come from either place. Now, these 2 countries have different rules and requirements and classifications for the Pisco. The Peruvian ones seem to be a little more stringent. We're going to talk about those first. Now, you can only make Pisco from certain grapes. The most common ones are like Quebranta, Italia, Torentel, Moscatel, I think, and a couple of others. I think in Chile you can also use Pedro Jimenez, but there's not a huge variety. It's a pretty small number. All of these grapes, by the way, got imported to South America by the Spaniards who wanted to grow wine. They were tired of shipping wine from Spain down there, so they just thought they would grow grapes and make the wine there, which they did, and eventually they started distilling it. In Peru, there are 3 different classifications of Pisco. There's Acholado, which is a blend of the different grapes. There's Puro, which is a Pisco from just a single variety of grape. And then there's one called Mosto Verde, and that is a technique where they don't let the wine ferment all the way, so there'll be some sugar left in the grapes when they distill it. And that can be a mix of different grapes. Now, furthermore, in Peru, there's a rule about not adding anything to the Pisco. This means they also aren't adding water. So whatever proof the Pisco is, that's the proof they distilled it to, which is called being distilled to proof, which is pretty unusual, I think, in the spirits world. Most things even have rules about it. For example, vodka has to be distilled to a certain proof to get rid of all the flavors before it's, watered back down to proof. Now, in Chile, there aren't so many rules. They don't have those categories I talked about. They have different categories that are based only on the proof of the alcohol. So there's, let's see, Tradicional, which is 30 to 35%. There's Especial, which is 35 to 40. Reservado, which is 40%. And Gran Pisco, which is 43% or more. So it's all just based on the proof and not on the production method, which seems a bit odd to me. Like, if you have the proof listed on the label, why do you also need a name for that proof? It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Also, in Chile, you can double distill, triple distill. There's no, I didn't see any rules about distilling to proof. Or not adding water. You can age it. There's many fewer rules. For the bottles I have here, I tried to go for a variety. So I got Pisco Logia, which is an Acholado from Peru. I've got 4 Peruvians and 1 Chilean. The Chilean is Control C. It's triple distilled. We'll see. The other three that I have are all from Caravedo. There's not a huge variety of stuff I can get here in Oregon. I got two Puros, a Quebranta and a Torentel, and then I also got their Mosto Verde. So we have a pretty good variety of things to try. Now, just in general, as I discussed on the live stream, these Piscos they have sort of a flowery, sort of grappa-like flavor to me. But I'm hoping that the different varieties will reveal themselves to be different in some way. I'm keeping my fingers crossed. My palate isn't the best, but we'll see what we can do. And then next week, or in the coming weeks, I think what I'll do is try and make Pisco Sours from all of these, and then maybe we can determine which one of these makes the best Pisco Sour. But for now, let's get to tasting. First up, we've got Pisco Logia. Now, Pisco Logia is from Peru. It's from a town just south of the capital, Lima. It's made by master distiller Nati Gordillo, which it's nice actually. This is also a female-owned company, and the master distiller is a woman. It's good to see that in the industry. It is a blend of Quebranta and Italia grapes, making it an achelado, and of course it follows all the other rules of Peruvian Pisco, where like it's not aged in a barrel, but it is rested in glass or stainless steel for at least 3 months. So one other thing to say about them is that it's estate grown, so they grow all their own grapes on the estate. They harvest them there, turn them into wine, and distill it all on the premises. It's sort of a, I don't know, farm to table, grape to glass kind of situation. Let's give it a try. Yes, I mean, it smells pisco-y. You really get a lot of the grape, you know, there's not a lot of other flavors interfering, so no barrel, no woody notes, none of that. A bit flowery. Kind of almost like a bubble gum. Let's give it a taste. It's got a softness. You get the alcohol at first, of course, but this got this flowery note that goes through all of it. But like a soft richness. Oh man, it's really very good. It's kind of a subtle flavor. Doesn't hit you in the face with tasting notes, you know. I feel like it's got like a lemony kind of a note, like a citrus or an orange. Yeah, I mean, the thing you get most, I guess, is grape. That makes sense. It's like a soft grape flavor, kind of a little bit of sweetness, but also kind of a little bit acidic, I guess. I better move on. I can't keep drinking the same one. I got 4 more to get to. All right, Pisco 2 is Control C. This is my only Chilean Pisco. It's triple distilled, and it would be called a reservado because it is 80 proof. Now, I mean, they claim triple distilling will give them, you know, a very clear product, but of course they're all clear. I don't really see how that is relevant. Triple distillation typically means you'll get less flavors in. So, like for example, an Irish whiskey is typically triple distilled, and that's like for a lot of people sort of a beginning whiskey because it's very smooth. It doesn't have a lot of the sort of harsher elements in it because it's been triple distilled. So we'll see what this one does. Chile. I got this fun glass for it too. I got a bit of like a vanilla note to it. That's odd. Again, that sort of flowery fruitiness. Whoa. We'll get a bit of like a licorice flavor. That's odd. Yeah. Like less flavorful, maybe like a bit of like a licorice note. A little bit of like a vanilla. And I think a bit of that citrus note again. I think something that's going through all of these is like this sort of grape fruitiness, a bit of a flowery quality, and a bit of a citric acid kind of a flavor. So being triple distilled, I believe, giving this like a smoother, like less alcohol burn kind of quality to it. I mean, this might make a really good Pisco Sour. Yeah, I mean, I do get a sort of strange licorice flavor. Fun. All right, let's move on to number 3. Okay, Pisco 3 is Caravedo. We're moving into all of our Caravedos. The next 3 are going to be Caravedo. This is Quebranta. This is one I've had a lot. I was told once long ago that Quebranta was the style to use in a Pisco Sour, that was the best one. I just took that as given. And so I was looking for Quebrantas, and this is one of the only ones I can get here in Oregon. So I've been using this quite a bit, although I don't often drink it straight, so we're going to give this a taste. It is the Puro variety, Puro Quebranta, Quebranta being the grape, as I was saying before. This distillery, Caravedo, is one, I believe it's the oldest running distillery in the Americas. That's what it said on their website. So that's pretty impressive. Again, you get that grape note, a bit of that floweriness. Again, that grape into flower and a little bit of vanilla. It's got like a creaminess, a creamy softness to it. I like that a lot, actually. That's pretty good. A little less of the sort of citric orange notes on this one as compared to the Pisco Logia, for example. But yeah, that goes down smooth. I like that a lot. Yeah, okay, so that's really nice. That's my favorite so far. Okay, moving on. Next, we've got another Caravedo, of course, another Puro. This is Torentel. That's the variety of grape. It is 80 proof from Peru. Let's give it a sniff, shall we? Whoa, okay. This is a lot different. Okay, the first 3 were somewhat similar. The Quebranta being a bit smoother and a little rounder. But this one's got a very noticeable lemon note. Oh yeah, it's like it's almost like lemon pledge or like a lemon disinfectant. Wow, that's really odd. Yeah, whoa. So it doesn't taste quite as lemony on the palate, but yeah, no, it does have a very lemony, acidic flavor. That's really interesting. The nose is a bit off-putting. It's got, because it does taste like, yeah, lemon disinfectant or lemon dishwashing soap or something like that. Wow. I mean, it's still a little bit sweet and it's got these flowery notes, but the overwhelming flavor is lemon. I wonder how that will come out in a Pisco Sour. I was gonna say it's not my favorite just because of the sort of bad associations I have with like drinking lemon pledge, but it is sort of a distinct one, which I appreciate because it's nice to at least be able to recognize the differences between them. Yeah, a lot less sweet, a lot less vanilla, less flowery, more lemony. Wow, interesting. So, onto our final bottle. It's the Caravedo Mosto Verde. Now this is one I'm looking forward to. They don't ferment the grapes all the way when they make it. That's the style. I've never heard of this before, really. It's a different style than all the rest, so I'm looking forward to seeing if this tastes a lot different. It's 43% alcohol, so slightly higher than the others, and it costs quite a bit more, so let's give it a try. We're back to those grapey, sort of musty aromas that the other ones had. We've backed away from that lemon pledge of the last one. Not getting any kind of licorice or anything like that, just sort of that grapey, flowery aroma. We're back into sort of regular Pisco territory. I was hoping for something sort of dramatically different in this style, but it isn't that different. It's grapey, of course, fruity, a little bit of that vanilla, maybe a little bit of spiciness. Let me try again. Like a slight peppery note or a slight kind of darker fruit, like an apple or a pear kind of. But I don't know, a little disappointed that it isn't more dramatically different than the others. But I mean, it's delicious. It's going down smooth, and I'm enjoying it. So, I think all of these would make good cocktails. In a week or so, we'll try and make some Pisco Sours and see if we can detect the difference there. Going into this, I thought the Mosto Verde would be very much more interesting than the others. It isn't. It's about like a Quebranta or the Chelado. I was nervous or feeling snooty about the Chilean one, like maybe it wouldn't be as good, but it was pretty good. It had some interesting notes. The most dramatically different one of all was the Torentel, which had a very strong lemon flavor. So, I don't know. Hopefully that's fun and informative for you. Don't forget to check out Zach's video on the subject. I'm sure he'll have much more to say. In the meantime, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.